Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 mini-series of 50 Ways to Die at Dr. Nick's, where today we are going to be doing yet another mission for Nick, which apparently is the project's part 2, which means we'll probably be interacting more with the blooper mutants, which, though amusing, is also really loud if we have to go back downstairs. That area is super loud compared to the rest of the game. But, oh well, let us go and have a chat with Nick, as we do have to actually finish this mission, I believe, to get the next thing in the Vendomatic, as it's still not giving me any choice for new things to purchase. Ooh, though we actually haven't checked the token machine in a while. Let's take a look at that. See if currently unavailable. Oh, I wonder if this ever actually becomes a thing. It's always been unavailable. Oh well, we'll find out at some point, I'm sure. But first, to Nick. And hello, sir.
Hi. So I'm guessing this is the part where you want to know what the fuck is going on around here.
Yes, I really would.
So look, you're still alive. You've shown yourself to be reasonably clever.
Thank you.
And you've repeatedly helped us out when you didn't have to.
Well, it was for the money.
And it's not like we've been making you rich or anything.
Oh, true.
That tells me you're smart and, you know, a reasonably decent person. So I'm going to trust you and let you in on the big secret. You ready?
I am. Okay, let's do this.
It's about time.
Okay. So I, sort of have a secret laboratory, and all the details are there. There's an elevator that'll take you directly to the lab, and you can browse the archives until you're satisfied you know what's going on here. You'll need this key card to get in, and there's clean room suits in the locker before you enter the main lab area. You'll want to wear one.
Okay.
Come talk to me when you're done, or, you know, come out guns blazing. Your choice.
Ooh, okay. Well, I do like guns blazing, but, not gonna like you, Nick. You're alright. You're alright. So I'm assuming it's the other elevator over here.
Look out!
Ooh, look out for what? Don't do that, Professor. Okay, so, well, last time we went down this way... Oh, there's another commie. Last time we went through this way, this thing fell out under us. Now, we have a key card this time, but he didn't give me, like, a button or anything to turn it off, so I'll admit I'm a little paranoid right now, but let's find out. Oh, thank crap. Okay, key card. There we go. So there's the clean room suit, I guess, when we get down here. Interesting. Down we go. Oh boy, he has a secret laboratory with notes. Oh, we're going to be scarred for life, aren't we? Aren't we? We're just gonna get a gun out. I don't know what to expect down here. It's Nick's secret laboratory. Could be anything. Oh, that's not ominous. Are these going to kill me? Alright, it's just decontaminating us. That's good. Okay. Oh, blooper mutant who is dissecting. Oh, freaking sweet. Okay, hooded clean room suit. Let's take that. I'm carrying too much. Wait, I'm carrying too much? Hold on a moment. Well, first off, I took all 3, and I was teetering on the brink already. Oh God. Okay. Okay. First off, let's put 2 of those back. All right, there we go. And is this gonna take away all of my armor? Because if it is, we're gonna be really overweight here in a moment. Oh, thank God I didn't lose all my pocketed pieces of armor. Oh, Nick, you're alright. Okay, what do we look like in this thing? Okay, put away the gun. Put away the gun. Ah, it's just one of the Institute ones. Fair enough, okay. Kinda looks interesting with the Marine combat armor there. Well, in we go, I guess. Oh, he grows the blooper mutants. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Is he experimenting with his own FEV down here? Well, let's read and find out. Ooh, hello. Well, first let's read, then we listen.
Need the password.
What? Yeah, the password? Requires terminal in his private safe. Huh. Oh god, I have a feeling everything in here is going to kill me too. So I need this password. Password. Wait, he didn't say anything about a password, did he? He just said he needed the key? Is there a key card slider thingy? Somewhere? Did he give me a password? Okay, maybe it's on one of these. Play.
Lieutenant Nick Archer is one of the most capable men I have ever had the pleasure of having under my command. He is a master of infiltration, assimilation, agitation, and covert elimination of hostile targets. And his skills in virology, biotoxicology, and genetic manipulation are second to none. I can wholeheartedly recommend him for promotion to the rank of captain prior to his upcoming mission to the Mojave Desert.
So what now?
Warmest regards, etc. Major Turgidson. Date stamp, March 15, 2275. CC Strategic Command, Enclave Department of the Army.
Holy crap. Okay. Well, next one. Ah, Nick's terminal password. Oh, friggin' sweet. Alright, terminal. I also saw those interviews with blooper mutants. We're going to have to listen to those. You all know this, right? Because we need to. We need to. In the beginning, my name is Nick Archer. Oh, learn about the Blooper Mutant Project. My name is Nick Archer. I was born at Control Station Enclave in 2237. My parents, Thomas and Martha Archer, were scientists. In 2242, my parents were at Camp Navarro working under Dr. Schreiber when the Poseidon oil rig was destroyed. We got lucky. Shortly thereafter, we traveled east with Autumn Sr. on his journey to Raven Rock, but my parents never made it there. In early 2243 in Chicago, while leaving a small theater production of Patrick and Noria, a band of raiders shot my parents down in cold blood. I was still holding their hands when they fell. Okay. If a local patrol hadn't come running when the shots rang out, the raiders probably would have killed me too, but they fled. I relive that moment every night in my dreams. I've carried anger with me every day since. It drives everything I do. Okay, a little bit of a Batman story there, but okay. In the shadows, lost, orphaned, and adrift in anger and sorrow, I arrived at Raven Rock. Henry Decker, a legendary Enclave operator and the director of covert operations training at Raven Rock, must have seen something in my eyes, though, because he took me under his wing and gave me purpose. He stoked the fires of my anger and forged me into a weapon. I still don't know whether to thank him or curse him, but he did give me purpose, and it saved my life. Henry trained me in the art of deception and infiltration and taught me over 400 specific ways to kill a man. He also taught me the value of information, knowledge, and most importantly, wisdom. I spent countless hours studying the historical archives and covert action reports available at Raven Rock. I spent countless days studying mathematics, physics, engineering, psychology, biology, chemistry, virology, and genetics as well. The anger made me what I am. It still drives me. Wow. Nigga's a little dark there. The Dark of Night. Enclave covert operations first deployed me when I was 13 years old. Using a biomechanical agent I had developed myself, I neutralized an entire squad of Talon Company. I'm okay with that. I never cared much for Talon Company, who had taken in what they had believed was a spirited young orphan boy by slipping the agent into their water supply. Henry Decker gave me a medal, the first of many. Between 2250 and 2275, I was deployed 128 times, and 109 times I achieved my mission objective. In 2275, I was deployed to the Mojave with the main objective of finding Enclave remnants and forging them into a cohesive fighting force. Unfortunately, I was unable to achieve that objective by the time the Enclave was defeated, and Raven Rock was destroyed in 2277. The Enclave had lost the war. It happens. But life goes on for the living. That trip to the Mojave, however, set the course for the remainder of my life. It was among the Enclave remnants that I met Grayson Farnsworth, a brilliant Enclave engineer, and it was at Black Mountain, the state of Utah, in 2278 that I obtained the master's protocols and formulae for the FEV2 dipping process used to create the Nightkin. He is experimenting with FEV. Oh, Lord. Well, maybe we are going to take the guns a-blazing route. All right. The rise of the Nightkin. Historically, Boston always fascinated me. The tinderbox that sparked the American Revolution, that began the Great American Experiment, seemed a fitting place for what was to come. Grace and I arrived in Boston in 2280, and I quickly established myself as a local trader. Employing well-honed techniques, I developed a network of little birds that kept my little fingers on the pulse of the Commonwealth. Really? You're going Game of Thrones references too in here? Well, I guess this whole mod has just been one reference after another, so it fits. We then discovered Maya. In the pre-war era, she was an accomplished cat burglar, infamous for her ability to get in and out of highly secured areas without being detected. She's been an incredibly valuable addition to our team. Once I found a suitable location, I built my laboratory and began developing the modified FEV2 dipping project for creating Nightkin. Since renamed, thanks to Maya, the Blooper Mutant Project. As I saw it, I had two potential pools of subjects to draw from: raiders or gunners. My anger still drives me to exterminate raiders without mercy wherever I find them, so I used captured gunners? Wait, what do you do? Go the other route? If you want to do exterminate? Well, I guess he wouldn't want them as his blooper mutants. He just wants them all dead. Fair enough. Never mind. I'm okay with that. Alright. Oh, nope. Hit that one. No. And I tabbed too many times. Oh, that's on me, folks. And yes. There we go. Dawn of Justice. Deploying the blooper mutants to eliminate raiders, gunners, and various wasteland pests has been tremendously effective. They function as a cohesive and incredibly lethal fighting force and have repeatedly performed beyond expectations in any number of combat situations. The drugs have helped, of course, but it was ultimately a matter of leadership and direction. Once the gun was loaded, it needed someone to point it in the right direction and fire it. The Nightkin are great at performing assigned tasks, but far less capable at higher-level tactical or strategic thinking, necessary for optimal performance in the field, so ongoing human leadership has been essential. The Blooper Mutant Hero Project has had mixed results so far, somewhat more positive than negative, but has yet to reach anything near its working potential. Intriguing. Save control. Oh yeah, we're opening that. Okay. And don't kill me, safe. Blooper Mutant Project password. I'm gonna leave the bottle caps behind because with my luck, if I take those, it'll kill me. So, Blooper Mutant password. Haha. So this one's gonna be a lore-heavy episode today, folks. And I love it. I am a lore nerd after all. Modified FEV2 dipping. The major challenge in modifying the FEV2 dipping process was that it had a 90% failure rate, due to primarily to the radiation exposure damage present in the population of subjects undergoing the procedure. Previous exposure to FEV variants also gave an inoculating effect that interfered with the process. But prior FEV exposure has been minimal in the Commonwealth. Given the significantly large pool of potential conversion subjects, this wouldn't have presented an insurmountable obstacle, but the level of exposure necessary to procure that many suitable subjects posed an unacceptably high risk to the viability of the project. Modifying the formulae to produce the current 80% success rate involved developing specific enhancements to the FEV2 dipping solution designed to amplify the effect of the NER, MGMT, and NHEJ mechanisms of DNA repair, so that the detrimental effects of radiation exposure could be actively counterbalanced while the recursive growth patterns of FEV were occurring. Massively amplifying the levels of MGMT in particular led to the largest decrease in the failure rate. The significant increase in the success rate has drastically lowered our risk exposure to well within acceptable levels. Okay. Propaganda in theory. Any serious student of history understands one thing very clearly regarding propaganda. Propaganda works. It really does. It really does. It takes a certain amount of deeper study to understand how and why it works, but the incontrovertible fact is, it works. It is also plain to see that every medium of communication ever developed in human history, and every civilized or semi-civilized semi-civilized society has ultimately been subverted and used for the dissemination of propaganda. There's tremendous power to be accumulated and wielded by those who can make large numbers of people believe whatever they want them to. They say that if you repeat a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. But how can the simple repetition of often ludicrously transparent lies convince so many otherwise sensible people to believe clearly sensible things? Or senseless things. Senseless. I swear I can read. The key lies in the early 1900s with the work of Ivan Pavlov and Pavlov's dog, commonly called conditioned reflex. Ring the bell and make the dog drool. Pavlov showed you could take an existing involuntary reflex, drooling at the sight of food, create a new association to that reflex, the bell, and then use that new association to reliably trigger the involuntary reflex. All you need is a pre-existing method for triggering the reflex in the first place. The food. This principle is directly adapted to the use of propaganda. Strong human emotions like love, fear, hate, pride, or what have you are involuntary reflexes triggered by specific associations. The specific associated trigger can vary from individual to individual, but strong emotional response all bypass conscious thought and are thus considered involuntary. For purposes of propaganda, the fundamental key is finding pre-existing themes, ideas, concepts, symbols, music, and/or imagery that trigger these strong emotional responses in large numbers of people, and then to repeatedly present these triggering themes in tandem with the new theme which you want to create an association. Show the food, the dog drools, ring the bell. Repeat until the new association is formed. Then ring the bell, the dog drools. Simple, really. All you need are reliable emotional triggers. Want your population to love their country? Use an existing trigger that provokes a strong feeling of love and repeatedly present it with patriotic themes. My god, this is a long entry. Eventually you can present the patriotic theme, ring the bell, and involuntarily provoke feelings of love. The dog drools. Want your population to hate a specific group of people? Use an existing trigger that provokes strong feelings of hate, fear, anger, or disgust, and repeatedly associated with the people you want them to hate. Then present the people, ring the bell, and involuntarily provoke hate. The dog drools. The beauty of the process, and what ultimately makes it so effective, is that strong emotions completely short-circuit rational thoughts, so that otherwise rational people can consistently be made to believe clearly irrational things. Understand the process and the power it grants, and you quickly understand the very medium of communication is ultimately subverted to the dissemination of propaganda. Understand the process and observe it in action, and you can fairly quickly tell what associations those who control the message are trying to create. As to why they're doing it, the answer inevitably involves the accumulation of power. Wow, that was a long one, but also cool, as I have actually done a lot of studies in propaganda with my, history stuff. So, subjects! Every soldier knows that the war means fighting, and fighting means killing. It's not personal. Well, it's not inherently personal. It's just what it is. Hurting people solely because you can, because the opportunity presents itself, well, in my book, that's just plain evil. And evil, by its very nature, has no claim on the mercy of the righteous. I do not consider myself a righteous man, but evil will find no mercy in my heart either, only anger. My personal moral code dictates that the subjects I use for the Night King conversion process have clearly demonstrated by their actions that they are evil. I will not harm the innocent. I will not spare the guilty. There are two major pools of potential subjects in the Commonwealth that meet my requirements, raiders and gunners. It's a simple decision, really. My burning anger regarding raiders drives me to exterminate them without mercy, so I use gunners. Gunners are a slightly more civilized and disciplined version of raiders, less wantonly cruel, but make no mistake, these are not soldiers. They have no code of honor. They kill for hire, nothing more. Once the subject is obtained, I use the modified memory lounger technology to do a basic memory wipe by inducing amnesia in the subject. This is followed by a guided imagery program under the influence of the KT-28 compound that is designed to repeatedly provoke strong emotional states in the subject and to create basic association triggers for each emotional state that can later be used for proper propaganda conditioning. Subjects are then placed into the modified FEV2 immersion vats for conversion, kept in a semi-conscious state for ongoing reinforcement of emotional triggers, and chemically pacified using a steady supply of the KT-28 compound. Cool. Okay, the compound. The antipsychotic and compliance effects induced by the KT-28 compound are not only instrumental in effectively creating the conditions under which strong emotional triggers can be created in pre-conversion subjects after memory wipe, but are also essential in the ongoing cognitive and behavioral conditioning required after subject conversion to ensure an effective, obedient, and cohesive deployable fighting force. The main challenge has historically been that prolonged use of stealth boy technology inevitably produces psychoses among the Nightkin. Behavioral conditioning to only use stealth boys during actual combat or stealth situations mitigates this effect to some degree, but repeated deployment on reconnaissance or into combat situations still involves frequent stealth boy use and an unacceptably rapid development of psychoses. Consistent exposure to the KT-28 compound has been shown to significantly delay the onset of this psychosis, thus greatly extending the usefulness of each subject. Okay. Propaganda and practice. Ooh, learn about the Hero Project. Start with a blank slate and set an existing emotional trigger, and the possibilities are endless. What did I want the blooper mutants to believe? Every widely held belief system throughout human history, whether specifically religious or secular in nature, has had certain aspects and a certain developmental progression in common. Whether we're talking about communism, fascism, or any other ism you can find, religious or secular, they all have the potential to be violent and oppressive given the right opportunity. Too true. Identifying these potentially violent and oppressive isms is merely a matter of answering the question, how do the believers treat the unbelievers? If the answer involves conflict and or violence, you can determine with great certainty that should that particular ism accumulate enough power, widespread oppression and murder will quickly follow. Given the savage nature of the times we live in, I needed to create a belief system that tapped into these fundamentally violent tendencies, a belief system of mindless fanaticism that would turn my troops into an unstoppable fighting force. The strongest and most pervasive themes throughout history center around good versus evil. And its most basic, it's the idea and belief that we're good and they're evil. That not only are we good, but we're special. The idea presented itself while I was cleaning out what is now the basement tenement. I stumbled across an old box that contained some Unstoppables comic books and several anti-communist propaganda posters from before the war. Who is more good or more special than a superhero? All I needed were villains, and the posters provided that. Convince your troops that anyone who opposes them is not only wrong but evil, and there is no atrocity that cannot be justified on the basis that your enemy deserves it. Condition your troops to experience easily triggered emotional states, and apply the right associative conditioning, use systematic propaganda, and you can convince them of anything. Using the conditioned reflex association technique and the application of some creative historical revisionism, the blooper mutants now all believe that the Unstoppable comic books are actually human history, that Maya Farnsworth and I are descendants of the original Unstoppables, and that we and the blooper mutants are the new superheroes of our time. They also believe without the question that the communists are the greatest evil on the face of the earth, and that anyone who opposes us are communists. I only need to point the blooper mutants' anti-coms at a target and they attack with mindless ferocity. Okay. Leadership versus autonomy. It would be preferable in many ways if the blooper mutants had the capacity for intelligent, tactical, and strategic thinking, but that level of autonomy would carry too great a risk of non-compliance. A weapon you cannot control is a weapon you cannot afford to use. So I made the deliberate decision to limit their cognitive abilities and condition them to obedience. Considering I control their education and their entertainment, and I dominate every medium of communication they possess, all it took was developing a systematic approach designed to produce specific cognitive and emotional outcomes. This course of action requires far more oversight, of course, but is safer and more effective at achieving my specific goals. Maya Farnsworth and I have assumed leadership roles among the blooper mutants, and the propaganda conditioning has ensured absolute loyalty and obedience. The oversight requirements, however, consume far more time and effort than I would prefer, so I started the Blooper Mutant Hero Project. Okay. Unlock Blooper Mutant Hero Project Terminal. Unlocked. Holy crap, lot of things here today, folks. So, I actually think, oh god, how many entries are in this one? Because we have that, and we also have all of these recordings. Oh my god, oh boy, no, come back. There we go. We have multiples of these to listen to as well. So I think maybe we end the... Oh, yeah, there's a lot in here. There is a lot in here. We are going to wait for the next episode to continue our little lore extravaganza, which, I mean, may not be the most entertaining thing for some of you guys out there, I know, but oh well, please stick with it. I mean, then, you know, we'll probably go and be, well, more terrified of Frank. Or not Frank. Nick. Oh my god, my name just completely blanked on his name. Oh crap, I need to sleep. Oh jeez. Yes, well, we'll have another lore-based episode, it seems, next time. But then after that, we should hopefully be able, I hope, to finish the various puzzles upstairs, as we still have things like the RFID chip in our lab coat, the inoculant, etc. to test out. We just can't get to them yet without the Vendomatic. Or, well, we can't really spend the tokens, rather. We can use them, we just can't spend the tokens. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, folks. I hope you all have enjoyed. And, of course, that you do come back for the next, when we will be learning more about the blooper mutants. But until that time, thank you for watching. And, as always, have a good one.